Welcome to the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is a live streaming Star Wars video podcast made by Star Wars fans for Star Wars fans. Today we're going to continue our episode review of The Mandalorian with chapter 11. Holy shit, not chapter 14. Yeah, we're really jumping. Chapter 11, The Heiress.
Okay.
So can we just go ahead and cut and paste my dumb fucking rant from last episode into this one?
Unfortunately, because we're live, we can't.
Let's just pretend. Let's pretend all that excitement is brand new, because holy shit. This is a great fucking episode.
It really is. Yeah. This was everything that we'd all been hoping and waiting for, because the announcements were made about actresses and actors being involved in this series, but we hoped, but we didn't know what they were going to be doing. So yeah, I was blown away by this episode. And I mean, just for so many different reasons. We're going to get into it all. Thanks for joining us live in chat, William. Good to see you, man.
Been so long.
Yeah. Where have you been? This was written by Jon Favreau, directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. It was released on Disney Plus November 13th, 2020. And a couple notes about this is that the atmospheric re-entry sequence was an homage to her father's Apollo 13, which I thought was a really nice touch. The actress Katie Sackhoff joined the cast to portray Bo-Katan Kryze, a role she had previously voiced on the animated television series Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. And so, again, when she was announced to be involved, we thought, ooh, it's got to be her. It's got to be her. Who else?
Yeah,
could
it was
possibly
pretty obvious.
be? So just psyched to see her play, because she's just perfect for it. I mean,
she is.
Voice aside, which, we've just always expected. I loved Katie in Battlestar Galactica remake. And just to see her join Star Wars is awesome. So goddamn cool. All right, let's do this recap. What do you think about this episode? Where do we start?
So this was the perfect intro. We of course last saw them somehow managing to get off that other planet, and they're limping all the way to this new planet, and it's so damn funny.
Just trying to see him land.
Yeah, that was intense, because of course we got the homage to her father's movie, where that's a pretty intense entry. And they get in, the flame starts to go off, and he's like, okay, let's start to slow down, and then poof, fucking ship's not working, and it's like, oh shit, well, we might have enough fuel to land properly. Let's see. Everybody just kind of buckle in. Hey, frog lady, that lever, hold it back or we're fucked. And then just to see them land, that was the best part, because they finally get down, or almost get down, and you're like, oh, okay, they made it. And just mere meters off the landing platform, another pop of the engine, and they just go right into the drink. So goddamn funny.
What did you think about that crane too?
I loved it.
Awesome.
Repurposed AT-AT. That was so beautiful.
So
I didn't,
cool.
And it's funny too, because I didn't catch that with the first time I watched this. But every subsequent viewing of this episode since, I just get so giddy seeing that, because of course this is an outer rim planet. That's what's going to happen. You're going to use what's around you to try to rebuild your civilization. So of course they're going to use an AT-AT. It was just so fucking cool.
I love it right when they land, and he's like, can you repair it? Talking to this Mon-Cal. And the guy was just like, whatever. Give it a go.
I could put fuel in it if it still holds fuel.
It's so great. And this little fishing port, this felt so good. I loved the atmosphere of this place. It reminded me of the best parts of Pirates of the Caribbean. It reminded me of the best parts of Call of Cthulhu mythos towns, that Innsmouth or something, where it's just this crazy fishman town, but it's all dark and moody and kind of scary and very piratey. I loved it so much. It was so good. The atmosphere is great. So Frog Lady sees Frog Man in the distance and runs over, and they reunite, and you're just like, aw, love.
That's so cute.
Family. Now they're going to get it on. They're going to hatch these eggs, which is going to be great for them. But he's like, hey, about that whole Mandalorian thing, and we get the shot of this cloaked figure. Did you think that was going to be a Jedi or a Mandalorian?
I was kind of on the fence. I figured it'd be a Mandalorian, but I was hoping it might be a Jedi.
I thought it was a Jedi. The whole time, I was just like, oh, that's totally a Jedi. Like,
Mhm.
because it's burned in my brain. Why would anyone else wear a cloak except a
That's
Jedi? When it's
that's
like,
fair.
no, people wear cloaks. It's a thing in this universe.
Mhm.
But apparently, to me, I'm an idiot. But
Well,
still,
you just wish everybody wearing a cloak was a wizard.
it's
Like,
true.
it just makes sense.
I just want to see a Jedi in this so bad. Oh god damn it! I just so desperately bad. Who knows about the future after this episode?
Oh,
So
we'll see.
yeah. So he's like, yeah, I know someone. Let's go to the inn. Let's get some food, and they can hook you up with the person that that I know. They go there. They get their chowder, and this
Gosh.
Corrin is like the Mon Cal waiter, I guess, introduces him to a Corrin or something like that.
Mhm.
And the Corrin comes over, very piratey. He's like, "So we're gonna have to take a ship out to go meet him. You all right with that?" And then they go out in the ship, and he's just out of nowhere. The Corrin's just like, "So you ever seen a what was that creature called that he feeds?"
Shit, I don't remember.
I'm looking in my notes, and for some reason I don't see the doggone name of it. Um, but he's like, "Have you ever seen this thing fed?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "That kid's gonna really appreciate it." And so they like open up this hatch in the bed of the ship, and there's like this massive monstrous creature that kind of gave me like a Sarlacc pit vibe.
Mhm.
That he throws something down there, and then he immediately takes a staff and knocks the child in, which is subsequently immediately eaten, and everyone's heart just dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Across the world, everyone heard like a collective
Hey, we all had the same reaction to it as Din. Like, I had the face first jumping right in, like, fuck this!
Oh man, the panic. The sheer panic when I saw that. And then as soon as Din jumped in, I was just like, do another fucking crate dragon. Blow this bitch up from the inside.
Right.
Because the child was in his little like pram, so he was gonna be fine. At least that's in my mental canon, that's what was happening. So it's like there's no way he's gonna be able to digest that metal pill in order to get to the child before Din goes in there and fucks it up.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking the whole time, but when they collapsed the gate on top of Din, it wasn't until that second that I realized, oh, they're just trying to get his armor. Like
Mhm.
I didn't realize they were trying to trap him. I didn't know what was happening. I was just like instinct in pure shock up until that moment, Just like,
Yeah.
why would you do that to the child? Holy fuck, is this the end of the series right now? Just panic.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to talk about the escape?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
the
that's
rescue?
fucking beautiful. Because this is when we find out the cloaked figure was actually Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Because they just fly in, you get 3 badasses come in and just start fucking everybody's shit up.
So good.
And,
Ugh.
they get Din out, and the first thing out of his mouth is, save the child, he's down there. And it's just like, of course he's going to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get one of the night owls, presumably, like, just diving down like it's nothing and fucks the creature up and brings him back up. Like, it was so great to see.
So we get this reveal of 3, not 1, 3 Mandalorians, and those of us who know already know who they are. I mean, you mentioned the Night Owls. We know the markings on that gear and the coloring. So if you ever watch the Rebels or Clone Wars series, and so I like at this point I'm like punching the seat between me and my wife as we're watching it, going Bo-Katan, 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 Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
She takes her hat off, and I was just like, yes, fuck yeah, Bo-Katan.
Start doing this shit. Yeah. No, it was just
so
everything.
excited.
It seems like this entire season is nothing but like fan service.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all actual content, but it feels like just straight fan service because that reveal, it's so perfect.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the part that I don't fundamentally understand how like the other shoe has to drop. There has to be a point where I'm just like massively depressed again because this has brought Star Wars back in such a good way. I just waiting to get massively disappointed somehow, and I just I'm proven wrong every single week. It just blows me away. So
it's like what happens when you leave an abusive relationship and get in a good one.
Yeah.
It takes a while
A
to
quick
realize,
move and I'm
okay,
flinching
they're
all
not
the
just going
time.
to start beating me.
Yeah. We're just abused audience members. What can we do? Yeah, so they take their masks off, and she's like, and Din's like, "You're not Mandalorian. Where'd you get that armor?" She's like,
Give me that armor.
Yeah, like, what is it with you and taking other people's armor? Just fucking live with the fact that other people have armor. You're not the only one, dude. But no,
Well, that's the crazy part. Like that whole reveal. That's when we find out that he's a part of like a religious sect,
yeah,
which I had never even considered.
I had neither.
But it makes perfect sense because Rebels wasn't that fucking long ago,
Hmm.
and that's how the Mandalorians acted. Like even Death Watch, like they still would remove their helmets and shit. And then it's just you get the whatever the 15, 20 years in between all that stuff
Hmm.
to this where no one takes their helmet off. Like you
Yeah,
don't
that
even
was
consider it until that like they bring it up. Oh, you're one of them.
yeah, it was crazy to get that realization because the Night Owls were Death Watch. They broke away, and half of them went with Maul, and the other half went with Bo-Katan. And so, like, that's where it all comes from. But apparently, the Death Watch itself has a splinter that's like the religious fanatic side, which
Mhm.
I'm hoping they get more into that
Agreed.
because I'd really like to know. But yeah, so he's like, "You're not even Mandalorians. That this is the way, and I can't be helping you with anything." And he like flies off, which is like
That's
ungrateful
the best part.
motherfucker. We
Yeah,
just saved your life.
he's looking for Mandalorians, and he finds somebody. He's like, nah, wrong kind.
What?
Peace.
Well, yeah, it's just like what is there's something wrong with you, man. So he goes back to the port to look for other Mandalorians. Like, what the fuck is he thinking at this point?
Yeah.
And then word got around fast that the ship was destroyed. Which again, how the fuck was that revealed so quickly? But he's jumped in an alley in the dock port by the brother and
Mhm.
gang members of the guys that the Night Owls killed, rescuing Din. And then the Night Owls come in again and save the day, rescuing him again. And they're like,
Mhm.
"Look, we need your help. We need to like get all these weapons so that we can help liberate Mandalore from the
Mhm.
Empire." And he's like, "No one's in Mandalore anymore, and I've got
It's
to go to the
cursed.
child and stuff, and I have to find the Jedi." It's like, "Well, then why are you looking for Mandalorians? If you're looking for Jedi,
Right.
why are you looking?" Like that's in my head. Like you fucking asshat. One or the
Mhm.
other. You find Mandalorians and then you leave them. Like fuck. And so she's like, "Look, we can help you, but we need your help first.
Mhm.
Let's go up and liberate these weapons for Mandalore." And we get another little reveal about Mandalore, is because there's propaganda being spread by the Empire that says that Mandalore is like cursed or it's it can't be saved.
Mhm.
And Bo-Katan's just like, "No, that's all lies. Don't believe anything the Empire tells you ever. Like
Mhm.
we can go, we're stronger together as Mandalorians. We can liberate our home and reseat another Mandalore." I don't think she says that, but that's ultimately the goal, I believe.
Yeah. She kind of says that towards the end.
Okay.
Like this is just a hope. I know we're not to this point, but I'm gonna say it right now before I forget. Like I fucking hope that she gets Mandalore back
Mhm.
and dons Mandalore the Uniter's helmet. Like, God, I'd come everywhere. Uh, I would have to burn my house down because it would no longer be a feasible place to live in.
Oh my gosh.
Just so much semen everywhere.
That's an image. That's an image. Okay. Moving on. um, yeah, so he finally concedes. He's like, "Okay, I'll help you as long as you're going to help me find a Jedi." She's like, "What do you know about the Jedi?" He's like, "Dick, I don't know anything. I just know
Yeah.
I need to find one for this kid." And so they ask the Frog family to babysit the child as they go and storm this. And it's called oh, I want the name of this because it's fucking great. Why can I not find the doggone name of this? Put all this stuff in my notes. The name of the
Uh,
ship. Urgh,
yeah, shit, I'm not seeing it either. I could have swore it was down too.
doggone it.
Oh, it was the Imperial Gozanti class cruiser.
Gozanti class cruiser.
Yeah.
I just love that stuff. Adding in the names of the planets and stuff they visit. I think it's so cool. So, watching them as the ship is taking off, flying in,
Yeah.
oh, so great. I
It's
just,
just it's everything that we had hoped for when we first saw them in the cartoons. It's like if
mhm.
we ever get a live action, we have to see them using all of their shit, and this is perfect.
Yeah. They just infiltrate and just annihilate these troopers, and just watching them bust into the ship is so good. And as soon as they get to the outer doors, the control room of the docking port, and the captain is just terrified. He's like, seal the doors, shut all the doors, shut all the doors. And he messages, they're in the control room of the docking bay. And the captain of the ship's like, wait, where? And then you see the back trail door open and just like ejects everyone out from atmospheric pressure difference. Oh, it's so great.
So fucking good.
So funny. But yeah, then she's like, it's not good enough. We got these weapons. Now we're taking this ship. We need every bit. He's like, hey, this isn't what I signed up for. And I wanted her to quote Darth Vader so bad. Pray I don't alter it any further.
They set that up. All she had to do was just tap it in. Yep. Everybody would have lost their shit. It would have been so good. So good.
Yeah, I can't tell where Bo-Katan's going to go. If she's going to go... If she's going to come back in the series at some point and be like this fanatic, like we must all do this, and become like this sort of power hungry person, because we see her as soon as they get to the cockpit where she's like ready to murder this captain. She's got her vibro knife at his throat or something. And she's like, look, where's the Darksaber? And immediately everyone's just like, ooh, of course that's what she's looking for. She's not just trying to find weapons. She's trying to find the doggone Moff Gideon. Of course.
Yeah.
Which is fucking great. I mean, it just adds another layer of lore and another layer of convoluted motivation, which I think there's going to be a point where she's going to have to make a decision between the child and the Darksaber. Like, I'm hoping.
That would be great.
I don't think she would end up turning on the child after everything happens, but having that moment of uncertainty is just gold.
Well, and we've seen her character kind of do that anyways with the the cartoon series, where it's going up against, do I go with family or do I go with creed?
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be well within her character to do something like that, and it'd be beautiful to see.
It'd be so great. Yeah. So. Oh, what I totally skipped over. The captain's like, okay, well, this ship is gone. We need reinforcements. So he calls Moff Gideon via holocron. Wait, what is it called?
HoloNet.
And he's like, hey, dude, we need help. Like, fuck.
We're
he's like,
fucked.
Are these the same pirates that attacked the other shipments? He's like, yeah. He's like, how much of the ship that they got? They got everything but the cockpit. And he's like, can't help you. Long live the Empire. And immediately you're just like, oh, no.
Like, you know what to do. Long live the Empire. Yeah, it's just...
I got a World War II Nazi vibe that second. I was just like, oh, he's going to kill everyone.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think that he was going to kill his pilot. I thought he was just going to tell them to take the ship down and all die together. But as soon as that line, long live the Empire, he just pulled out his blaster and took care of the pilot and co-pilot. I was just like, whoa, this dude is fucking hardcore.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely shows where the Empire is now.
Yeah.
Like, because, I mean...
It doesn't make sense. They have... The Empire, during the Galactic Imperial reign, they could do stuff like that, and it wouldn't be an issue. Nowadays, they have dwindling people as part of their... It doesn't seem like they do that anymore to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, that just shows the desperation.
Yeah.
Because, like, Gideon is on to some shit. Like, he is doing everything he can to protect his ass, because if his projects see through, the Empire could become a thing again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Either way, it was just hardcore as shit seeing him just execute them. And then the Night Owls bust in with Din, and she, says, where's the Darksaber? And she's like, I'll let you live if you tell me. He's like, he won't let me live. And then he just does that Nazi action of killing himself with a cyanide tooth pill or something, which was this cool little, like, shocking, like electrifying his brain, and he just drops dead.
Yeah, God, it was so beautiful.
And they, like, even out the ship that he was sending down to the ground. And there's a point where she was like, look, join us. Come with us. We could use your help. He's like, dude, I got a mission. Where's this Jedi? And she drops it. She not only says there is a Jedi, she says Ahsoka fucking Tano is on the forest city or forest planet of Corvus. Like, holy shit, she just dropped her name. So we just got Bo-Katan, which is fuck yeah, and then we get fucking Ahsoka Tano name drop.
Yeah, it was such a big deal. Even though we knew this fucking character was going to be in this season, like, we all knew. it still was such a big deal to actually hear the name and know for a fact we're gonna see her.
Blew my mind. I could not believe. And so immediately I'm thinking, well, before we get into that, he takes the name and the location in his head. He goes back, picks up the child, and he goes to a ship, which is like, it's like fishnet, band-aids, poles holding shit
Yeah.
up in place. It's like, I gave you 1,000 credits. This is all you could do? And he's just like, here's your ship. Take it. Nothing I can
Yep.
do, man. It's as good as
It's
it
like the
gets.
equivalent of repairing your car with duct tape.
So funny. And when he gets in the cockpit and there's just like fishnets and poles everywhere, you're just like, oh, this is the funniest fucking thing I ever saw in my life. I can't believe,
Oh yeah.
because it would have been so easy for them to say, oh, it's repaired. You're good.
hmm
But no.
Well, and especially because like historically speaking, Moncals, like that was, if you wanted a fucking ship, you got a ship from the Mon Calamari.
Yep.
Like they were masters at their craft.
Yeah.
Like so much so that that's how wars were won or lost, was with their crafts.
Yep.
So to see that, I mean, admittedly he had shit to work with, but yeah, seeing that, it's just like, you fucker. Like I honestly thought at the end, like he was gonna get up and then start trying to like take off and realize that, you know, his ship looks like shit, but like the hyperdrive unit, it's just bam.
Mm-hmm.
And then for it to just still be puttering out in space, it was like, oh, that's funny as shit.
Yeah. Oh, he's so good. So now he knows where he's going.
Mm.
He's going after a Jedi that we all know. We watched grow up. We watched leave the Jedi Order. We watched come and help the rebels, starting with Fulcrum. I mean, this is a character that we saw almost killed by her own master
Mm-hmm.
and rescued by Ezra. And so now she feels obligated to help find Ezra. But where is this in the timeline? Is this, like, has she already found him? Is she with Ezra? Are we going to see Ezra next episode? You know what I mean? Like, there's all these questions about where it could be happening. So, what were your favorite moments of this episode?
It's hard to pinpoint just one, but I mean, I guess if I had to pick just one, because I mean, obviously it's going to be the Mandalorians fighting.
Yeah.
Like that is just everything we've ever wanted. So definitely them taking the ship. Probably just like right after they took the cockpit, or not the cockpit, the hangar.
Yeah.
As Din's coming out, like they're just fucked. Like they can't get through. They can't get a blaster shot off, and he's just like, fuck it, all right, cover me. And it's just walking out there, getting just shot up with two detonators in his hand. Like that was just so fucking epic.
Yeah, I love that Din is not afraid to get his hands dirty. Like he's like, if I don't do this, I'm gonna die. But you know what? This moment calls for a moment of heroism. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And you're just like, of course you are, because you're fucking Din Djarin. That's why you're gonna do it, goddammit. And you're gonna fucking own it. Oh, he's so goddamn cool. Yeah, so my favorite moment has to be him getting rescued. Because again, I love that he can do such heroic things like that and, you know, pretty much ensure the victory of the Night Owls on taking over that ship. But he still needs help from time to time. And I just love that he's a flawed hero, just like everyone wants their heroes to be. Unless it's Superman, in which case everyone bitches when he's not this perfect fucking depiction that they get in the comic books. Well, fuck you people. Zack Snyder did a good job.
Yes, he did.
I'm just going off on a rant.
God damn
reason.
it.
I love Man of Steel. What the fuck are we talking about? Yeah, okay, so what are your least favorite moments?
Least favorite, honestly, if I had to find something to bitch about, it would probably be like the reunion of the husband and the wife. Like it adds to the show, but not really. I mean, it pays off in the sense that he has a place to have the child while he goes on the mission, but it was necessary, but it didn't feel necessary.
Yeah, see, I felt like the child has been imprinted by the Mandalorian so much. Like at the beginning, we thought that, you know, that creature died from that fall at the very beginning of the episode. Was it last episode? Yeah, at the beginning of the last episode. And he's constantly killing people in front of the child. And the child is like force choking. So in my head, the child is getting all of this negative reinforcement of go down the path of the dark side because this is just the way you go around the galaxy killing people. That's just what you do. And so that is imprinting on this child's mind. Seeing the dynamic of a loving family and watching these tadpoles being birthed, I don't know, like it seemed really fast. But anyway, seeing the little baby tadpoles and seeing the baby Yoda playing with the tadpole at the very end of that episode, I think this is an offset. You know what I mean? It's like saying, no, you don't have to be a murdering savage. There is love and care in the galaxy too, and that's going to be really important for the child's imprinting as well, I think. So that's why I kind of like that part of it.
Yeah, I mean, the end was fantastic. It's just the actual reunion itself. It's like, you know, we're led to believe that she knows where the Mandalorians are. And then we find out, no, it's her husband that knows where the Mandalorians are. And then we meet the husband and he's like, oh, I don't fucking know. Go talk to those people.
Yeah. No, that's true. That was kind of weird. I think my least favorite was when the brother of the Corrin, who was slain by the Night Owls, jumps Din. That whole scene you don't need, because there's no reason for Din to have left the Mandalorians in the first place, because he was looking for Mandalorians, then he found them. Just because he was upset with them taking off their helmet is not justification for him to just ditch.
See, and I could actually argue that, like, it makes perfect sense with his character. He's a religious fanatic. It's like having, you know, a Mormon sit down with some other Christian sect. Like, they're gonna be like, yeah, you're fucking crazy, fuck right off, and bounces. And then, of course, the brother's going to jump his shit because, like, they all knew that he was going with the brother and is what the brother was going to do. No one necessarily knows that the Night Owls were there and they're the ones that fucked him up. Yeah, so true. I think I believed it. And then, of course, that's going to be the, you know, their reintroduction to him and where he's going to be like, oh, okay, fine. You helped me out a couple of times. I'll shut up and I'll listen.
Yeah. All right. That's a good point. Okay. So there's no least favorite moments.
Yeah, we're trying to find a least favorite moment when really there isn't.
I mean, what do you want? What do you want us to do? Bryce Dallas Howard did an amazing job.
You know, the show's over.
Yeah,
that's my least favorite of every episode is having to wait.
Yeah, seeing the credits roll, but even that's not bad. It's after the credits are done rolling.
Yeah,
that's when you're like, oh, I got another week. Fuck, another week of work and unhappiness.
Yeah,
for my next drug infusion of the Mandalorian. Yeah, hopes for the future of this after this episode. I thought there was going to be another in-between episode for sure. I thought there would. I in my head, I'm thinking if Bo-Katan knows where Ahsoka Tano is at this forest moon, she's got to be at like a Jedi temple or something. She's got to be like in this position of authority. Maybe she already found Ezra. Like, this is going to be a very interesting, because I don't want the show to end. You know, he can't just hand over the child and then Ahsoka takes him and then he goes off on his own. So I didn't know what was going to happen, but I thought that Ahsoka would be in this position of sort of authority on this forest moon. What were your thoughts about where this was going to go next?
My hope was just that we were going to see her. And I mean, of course, it was set up perfectly that we were going to see her. It's a Dave Filoni episode, like he's directing it. It was set up in the last episode, but it's like, you know, do they give us exactly what they were telling us they were going to give us? Or do they have another interstitial where he's traveling to that planet and then something happens and he has to go there first? So I was really, really, really hoping it was going to be Ahsoka heavy.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll see her in like the last 5 minutes of the episode or something like that. He has to work to get to her, and then we'll get a little bit.
Yeah.
Next week we'll talk about what happens.
Oh fuck yeah, we'll talk about what happens.
But that's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, both live and chat or after the fact. We invite you to subscribe to the channel and click that little bell to get notified about our next videos. We now have a store, however, and you can always get your scruffy looking product needs met. The link is in the description of the video below. And until the Infernal Brotherhood convenes again, may the Force be with you.
No, I have enough pets.
I don't need another pet.
I might be biased, but no.
What's up, Princess Mimi? Princess Mimi.